Live, it's the Bison Football Show. Valley News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Kleiman.
Welcome to the show, everybody. The bracket is out. We welcome to the set head coach Chris Kleiman. We're going to talk about this and break it down a little bit, but the bracket is out. It's an exciting time, Coach. 5 Valley teams got in. I think that is the one thing that I wanted to talk about right away. That's big for the league, isn't it?
It really is big for the league. It's something we had talked about last year when we only got 2 in, and then had it again at the conference meetings. And we beat up on each other so much during the season. We had to have a great non-conference record. I think we were 23-1 against FCS schools, and they rewarded the Valley, which is really great to see.
As we look at the 5 teams that got in, Indiana State kind of snuck in late there. Indiana State was the 5th team to come in out of the Valley, and potentially a good non-conference schedule helped them out, didn't it?
Yeah, you and I were talking that their win over Liberty and Liberty beating Coastal Carolina to win their league, as well as they had an FBS win. So they've done a great job. Coach Sanford's done a great job, and they deserve to get in.
Coach, talk about Montana State and South Dakota State. That potentially is that game will be played, and that will be who we play eventually, the winner of that game. What do you think of that setup?
Well, we kind of thought that was going to happen just because of how they regionalize everything, and it's a tough game probably for South Dakota State to go on the road and play Montana State, but 2 really good opponents that we'll wait and see which one Slugfest gets the win, and we'll have them here on the 6th.
Hey, how big is a bye week right now? It's going to help, isn't it?
Boy, it really is. We're beat up. We're banged up like a lot of teams are this time of year. It'll be nice to just have a couple of short practices this week, give them a little bit of time off, and then be back raring to go next weekend in preparation for whoever we play.
Well, it's going to be an exciting time. The Bison are the 2 seed, and they will play the winner of Montana State and South Dakota State. The bracket is out. Very exciting time. But there was a game this weekend. Youngstown State was in the Fargo Dome. We're going to break down those highlights. But first, we got to get to the Gate City Bank hot seat. Punter Ben LeCompte this week. If you could have an endless supply of food, what would it be?
Burritos.
Nice. If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
Back out in Richmond, Virginia, where my dad grew up. Love that area.
Okay. Favorite thing to do away from football?
Golf.
Are you any good?
I'm all right.
Pickup, SUV, or car, what do you prefer?
An SUV.
Okay. What would your worst nightmare be?
Getting 1 or more punts blocked in a game. Something along those lines.
Who's the quietest guy on the team?
Probably Jack Plankers. He's real quiet.
Okay. 100 degrees or 20 below zero?
100 degrees for sure.
Favorite thing about Coach Kleiman?
How personable he is. He really interacts with all the different position groups, and he takes pride in knowing each player personally.
Describe the feeling during the tunnel walk at the Dome.
Oh man, basically indescribable. I don't know, just adrenaline rush and real exciting.
All right, Coach, there was a game this weekend, Youngstown State, the season finale. It was senior day. That's always an emotional day, isn't it?
Boy, it sure is. We have some great seniors, and playing at home for the last time in the regular season, they put their best foot forward, and all the underclassmen played really well and carried them as well. You
know, did you expect Youngstown State to come out firing away? They still could have made the playoffs had they won this game.
Yeah, they were a real hungry team, and we had to have a great start, and that's something we talked about all week, that if we were able to create a couple turnovers and capitalize on those turnovers, we could jump on them and then hopefully just be able to play our game after that, and I couldn't be happier for the guys the way they started the game.
Well, let's break down these highlights for you, and it was senior day, and the guys running out of the tunnel. Boy, it's just a very emotional time, and there's Kyle Emanuel. What a fantastic season he is having. The Bison won the toss. You deferred. 4th play, you get a takeaway.
Yeah, great play. They run a little screen. Christian comes in and strips it, and Carlton makes a big recovery.
You know, the big thing with takeaways, Coach, is you want to make them pay. 4th play, after that fumble, you get an 18-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, great throw by Carson, great catch here by Zach. Good play called by Coach Polisek, and we get a big score early.
And the great start continues. After trading punts, you get a 2nd takeaway, and this is the start of a big day for Christian Dudzig.
It sure is. They ran the screen and faked the screen and threw the vertical, and Christian was waiting on it and makes an excellent return to set up another score.
Boy, 2 plays later, a wow moment. Carson Wentz, your quarterback, gets out in space, comes barreling around the corner, and he's a physical runner now.
Boy, he is. 6'6" and 235 pounds, and We talk about it on defense a lot. We're glad we don't have to tackle him.
Wow, that was a powerful hit. Changed the momentum, got the crowd into it, and it was 14-0 after that. Now the 2014 Kyle Emanuel sack party continues.
Yeah, great play by Kyle coming off the edge. You can tell they were trying to double team him, and he was able to split the double team for a big sack.
Hey, third down percentage, good. 3rd and 6 here, 15-yard pass to Gebhardt.
We were really good on third down, whether it was by throwing it, running it, or even Carson scrambling.
You know, it looks like a score is looming on this drive, but Youngstown State gets a takeaway right here.
Yeah, they do a good job in the red zone here, and their guy undercuts a route and makes a good interception.
Youngstown State could not capitalize, however, and this next play, it was a big moment in the game because Travis Beck got injured on this play.
Yeah, we're bringing a blitz here, and I could tell Travis just something was wrong. I went out there and visited with him and with Dr. Pyatt and Bobby, and sure enough, he was injured pretty severely. We'll
talk about that a little bit later here, but Carson Wentz again continued to run the football, just big gaps here.
Oh, great blocking up front by the Rams, and Carson does a great job pushing into the red zone again.
Now this ends up being a touchdown to Andrew Bonnet. He's done well in the red zone this year.
Yeah, I think this was a 3rd and goal as well, so it's a great conversion by our offense, and Bonnet's really good in the red zone.
21-0 at this point, and Nick DeLuca, now he comes into the game for the injured Travis Beck, and right away he makes an impact.
Boy, he makes plays. That's one thing that you say about Nick for sure, and moving forward, he'll be an integral part of our game plan and makes a great play setting up another short field.
Yeah, he's a big physical kid. Now the offense takes over, and a reverse is called here. It doesn't quite work out. Sometimes these are all about timing, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. We thought we had a pretty good timing on it. We were fortunate, really fortunate, to get the ball back.
Now Wentz kind of takes it into his own hands again. Did you see something on tape during the week that, you know what, he's going to be able to run the football?
Well, Carson does so many special things. I just think he saw that the coverage broke down and he had a lane, and he can do some things in the open field, that's for sure.
Now this drive finishes off John Crockett. It's a touchdown. It's 28-0.
Great run by John. Real good patience in the hole and getting himself in the end zone.
We're going to move right into the second half. Here's the Bison up 28-0 at halftime. A 13-play drive right out of half leads to a field goal.
Boy, that was a great drive. I thought our offensive line was exceptional in that drive, getting us points in that first sequence.
Youngstown had a nice little sequence right here. They're down big in the game, but they have a nice little drive here. 3rd and 7, they get 10 yards, and they get in a little rhythm here. They run it for 16 here.
Yeah, they've got a really good offensive team. They had a freshman quarterback and tremendous skill kids, and we knew we were going to be able to probably hold them down the whole game.
They get a touchdown here. It was good coverage by Dudzik, but they just sneak it across the goal line, so it's 31-7. Now, Coach, still well in hand.
Yeah, it was a great throw and catch, and they reviewed it, and that was good, and the guy was able to keep his feet down and get a touchdown.
Fun to get Andrew Bonnet out in space a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. What a great play by Carson, finding Andrew away from the play, and Andrew makes a big play for another first down.
Here comes a 3rd and 9 play coming up. You get 12 yards, but there is a fumble here.
Yeah, we throw out on flat. Tyler makes a great move getting the first down, and then just gets stripped, and we can't turn the football over when we get such good field position.
Tyler Rice has some good speed, though, has a bright future. Now, Christian Dudzik, this catch on this interception, wow.
Well, this was a great play. He read the quarterback's eyes, jumps in front of the route, and was able to keep his feet in bounds.
Now, I think this shows it all, this next play about senior day, just the determination of these guys. Watch John Crockett move the pile here.
Yeah, this is a great run, and the Rams are continuing to push everybody, and that's a big play.
Crockett was determined, wasn't he? It was an emotional day for him, wasn't he? He gets 34 coming up here.
Yeah, it really was. And John, I think he had 170 yards, and did such a great career for us so far, and he gets to play in the Fargo Dome again.
Yeah, it's just fun to see him continue to develop, and what a fun player he's been to have in the program. Now King Frazier will finish this with a touchdown.
Yeah, great run here by King. Great block out in front by Jesse. He's getting another touchdown.
It's 38-7 at this point. Now Youngstown gets a few garbage stats here. They're going to punch one in here in the end zone. But all in all, Coach, this is a fantastic performance, isn't it?
It really was. It was a great performance on defense, creating the takeaways, and then offense capitalizing on those takeaways, and an overall dominating win.
Yeah, they get the touchdown late. Didn't really matter. The 38-14 was the final. 353 rushing yards. Very, very impressive. 6 of 7 in the red zone. And Wentz was just fantastic all the way around, running and passing the football. 3 total touchdowns. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
It's one of those experiences that you dream about, but you kind of dread because you know you're senior, you know you're getting old, and yeah, it was really tough running out of that helmet. Just after all the hard work you've put in, just to be able to run out that helmet.
Especially because it's senior day, everybody's ready to go. The fans are ready to cheer us on, and I don't think there was a player on our team that wasn't ready to go. So everyone gave their best shot today, and it really paid off.
Number 11, run somebody over. You know, that really gets you going when you see your quarterback and he has that type of man, that killer mentality, and that just goes to show it starts from the top. You know, we all have a chip on our shoulder. We all have things that we realize are right in front of us that we need to accomplish, and he knows that too. And he's going to be one of the driving forces to make those things happen.
I've been struggling getting it going. You know, we lived by the second half in the fourth quarter, but today to get those first couple scores and to capitalize on those turnovers. They meant a lot for us. They kept us going.
You know, you got to be hungry, you know, because that's what we're about.
The Bison are hungry. The playoffs are here, and the bracket is set. Fun time. Well, this week's Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game is senior Christian Dudzik. Dudzik was flying around the field against Youngstown. He led the team in tackles, forced a fumble, and had 2 interceptions. He says takeaways are the name of the game for the Bison.
Well, we every week say that we need to get 3 turnovers, and you know, we just want to put the ball back in our offense's hands so they can score. And you know, luckily I was put in position to make those plays today, and I was just glad that our offense got the ball back.
Coach, Christian had a fantastic game, and you just have to be so proud of these seniors.
Oh, I'm really proud of those seniors. They all had great games. They've had unbelievable careers, and you know, we talk about putting position to make plays. You still have to be able to make plays, and those seniors on Saturday made a tremendous amount of plays.
Well, let's talk about this Travis Beck injury. Obviously a serious injury, probably lost for the season, but Nick DeLuca now steps in, and just talk about, you know, what Travis has meant to the program, and in transition, what Nick DeLuca can do from this point forward. Yeah, Travis has meant the world to the program, to myself. He's played so many games here. He's made so many plays. He's an instrumental leader on our defense. We're really going to miss him. And Nick DeLuca's got to be able to step up, and we'll move Carlton to an outside linebacker position. And I just feel so bad for Travis because of what a wonderful career he's had, and he'll be with us here in the playoffs. Yes, no doubt. We love you, Travis, and get better, and just hang in there, and he'll be a good cheerleader to have on that sideline for sure. Well, coming up, this Bison football team is great on the field, but hey, off the field, they are doing some things as well. We have a heartwarming story coming up involving Esley Thornton. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. This group of Bison football seniors are great on the field, but off the field, their work is maybe even more impressive. They are making a difference in the community. Bismarck, North Dakota native Esley Thornton has reached out to a kid in this region who needed him, and the results will impact you. In this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story, we meet Ricky.
This is Ricky Alt, possibly the youngest retired football player you will ever meet. A wide receiver who loves the spotlight.
No. Very regular 13-year-old. He's an 8th grader at South Middle School. And he loves football and any sports. It's just a part of his life.
A life that has revolved around one team.
Bison. He's very loyal. Crockett.
He was looking for new heroes on the football team, and he has, you know, some players that he'd picked out and stuff.
Number 9.
Alt never misses a game, but as the road to Frisco continued last December, the Bison took a backseat.
It was like a cold that he just couldn't get rid of.
A child's football dreams crushed.
Ricky was diagnosed with T-cell acute lymphocytic leukemia.
He told us it's leukemia, and he said it's one of 3 different types. He said there's a basic type, very treatable. There's a T-cell type, treatable, a little bit harder to treat. And then there's one that you'll never leave the hospital.
For the past 11 months, Ricky has made weekly trips to Fargo, undergoing more than 25 surgeries, along with intense chemo and radiation.
The kind of leukemia that he presented with is really a very rapidly progressive disease. You go from feeling well to being extremely sick and really on the verge of death within days to weeks.
But on October 6th, it was his hero that gave him new life.
Ricky, how you doing, buddy? I'm the guy from the video, Esley.
And a chance to once again play the game he loves.
It's definitely an honor for me and a huge sense of satisfaction. And I'm grateful to be in a position where I can be a role model like that for someone.
Reporting for the Bison Football Show, I'm Ryan Nelson.
Nice, that's pretty good.
Wow, more of this story will be on GoBison.com after Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving. There will be a much more lengthier story. There's much more to that story. And Coach, just talk about Esley, your players, how important community activity is, and this story in particular. Ricky, you got to meet him in the locker room as well.
I sure did. Ricky's a special young man and great family, and it shows you a lot about our guys on and off the field. And Esley really took to Ricky, and we had him in the locker room, and the guys were around him. It just had so much fun. But our guys are awesome. You know, that's Bison pride right there.
Yeah, you don't have to force guys to do stuff like that. I mean, Esley did mostly all of that on his own.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Esley did that on his own. And that's the type of person Esley is, and that's the type of person that we recruit here to go to NDSU and be a part of the community as well as be a part of the university.
Fantastic job, Esley. Well, sticking with the Bismarck boys, in this week's Peterson Farm Seed Future Crop of Bison, we meet Stanley Jones. He is out of Bismarck High. He is redshirting. Stanley was a big in-state recruit, has a bright future ahead. He says right now it's just time to pack on some weight.
It's a process you got to kind of get used to, packing on the weight, and then with the weight, learning the technique, and the defense is another thing that's tough once you come to the collegiate level, and just the process is something that takes a little while.
Well, Coach, we talked about Esley, the impact he's making. Now back onto the field, another Bismarck kid, in-state kid. And what do you think of Stanley?
Stanley's going to have a very bright future. You should see his body now from when he first got here in early summer. He's done a great job in the weight room with Coach Kramer in strength and conditioning, and he'll be a factor here this spring. Losing a couple of defensive ends, he'll get every opportunity, and we're excited about his future.
I was talking to Coach Kramer, and, you know, Stanley was talking about packing on the weight a little bit. That's a big part of a freshman. You know, Easton Stick, Coach Kramer said, has packed on about 10, 15 pounds of good weight. It's part of the process, isn't it?
It is part of the process, and a lot of those guys are gaining great weight or maybe losing some fat and gaining some lean mass, and Coach Kramer and his staff have done a tremendous job with our young players.
Yeah, he does do a great job, no doubt. We'll go back to the bracket, kind of break things down a little bit, set up the upcoming weeks. It's basically playoff time. December is going to be fun, and we'll talk about maybe some of the potential matchups. Stay with us.
The 2 seed, your 3-time defending champions, and the Missouri Valley Conference champions, North Dakota State.
Getting that number 2 seed made a potential 4th national title a very real possibility, as you got to go through the Fargo Dome now.
North Dakota State has won 20 straight at home. They're 54-3 since the start of the 2011 season.
Well, Coach, again, the bracket is out, the 2 seed for the Bison, and it really doesn't matter if you're the 1